a little bing in my microphone. I thought it cut off. Okay, so bring your breathing back to normal. And I shall greet you with my opening chant. Om Balu Satguru Bhagavan Ki. The divine is the inner teacher. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to do a lot of shoulder work today and chest work today. So begin, we're going to, if you have a yoga strap, please have it handy. And if you have blocks, have them handy for your use. If you don't have a yoga strap, a long, like a strap to a robe will work as well, or just a, you can't hear me? Oh. Hold on a minute. Okay, how is it now? Let me just test this. Oh, I know what happened. Sorry, I did have a problem. Give me 1 second here.
Catherine, when you put the microphone back on, it was much louder.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to put it back on. Something happened to my mic. I don't know what it is. So let me figure this out 1 second. Computer is not good for I think it works now. Yeah, good. Okay, sorry guys. Now, I think you can hear me okay. Good. All right, we'll begin seated upright, and we'll start taking our arms out to the sides, palms facing down. And then we're going to allow our arms just to float up, float like there's a balloon carrying them up. And then engage the muscles in your arm and make them strong as you bring them down, like you're pressing down on some weights to get them down, all the way down to your hips. And then allow them to float back up. And then press hard, coming down, engaging all your muscles. And one more time, float up. And then push down strongly. Now let's go the opposite. Strengthen the muscle in your arms as you bring your arms up, as if you're trying to push up something with the backs of your hands. And then float the arms down. And then strong arms going up, engaging all the muscles. If you put your fingertips away from each other, it engages your muscles. And then float down. And then once more, strong up. Float down. And then bring your arms out to a T and start making circles. Start with little circles going forward and backward, and then make the circles bigger and then bigger. And really start opening up your shoulders and your chest here, real big circles. Okay, and then pause here. Now take your shoulders, bring them forward, up to your ears and back, forward, up to your ears and back, forward, up to your ears and back. Take the fingertips,
place them on top of your shoulders as your angel wings or hummingbird wings. You inhale, exhale, bring your elbows together in front of you. Inhale, open back up. Exhale, bring your elbows up. Palms of your hands are going to go behind your head, but don't allow your head to come forward or your neck to scrunch. And then inhale back, open. So your palms don't have to touch behind your head. They're just going toward each other. So inhale, exhale forward, inhale open, exhale up. Inhale open, exhale forward, inhale open, exhale up, inhale open, exhale forward, inhale open, exhale up, and then release. Okay, if you sitting cross-legged, please change the cross of your legs so we become balanced and not so one-sided. Bring the hands together to your heart center. This is your Anahata chakra right here. Inhale as you push your fingertips all the way up. Exhale, open T. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the right. Now take your left hand on the right thigh, right hand behind you on the mat. You use your right hand as a kickstand to spiral upward vertically your spine. Your left hand is used as leverage to help you twist. Take a deep breath. Now keep the twist in your body. Inhale. Exhale as you slowly just move your head only back to center, and then keep on moving your head over to the left as if you're trying to look over your left shoulder. So your body's twisting right, your neck's twisting left. It just gives a little bit more of a neck stretch. Inhale. Exhale, slowly bring your head all the way around, very slowly back to the right. Inhale here. Exhale, bring your whole body back to center. So anytime we're doing neck movements, we want to make sure we go very slowly so we don't pull the muscles in our neck. Back to Anjali Mudra. This is called Anjali Mudra. Inhale up. Exhale, arms in a T. Inhale here. Exhale, twist to the left. Now the right hand comes to the left thigh. Left hand parks behind you, keeping your spine vertical as you twist. Take a couple of deep breaths here. And now inhale. As you exhale, keep your body twisted, but turn your head only toward the middle and then over to look over your right shoulder. And then very slowly turn your head back to center, all the way over to the left. Inhale. Exhale, bring your torso back to center. Palms back to heart center. Inhale, push up with your fingertips. Exhale, let your right hand float down to the mat beside your hip. Your left arm is coming beside your ear. Push your fingertips to the right side. Open your left rib cage and make sure that your left sit bone doesn't come up off the mat or the bolster. Deep breath. Another deep breath. And now push into your right hand. Bring your right hand up above or to meet your left hand. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, left hand comes beside the left hip. Right arm beside the ear. Reaching for the left side of the room. Opening up the right rib cage. And then push into your left hand as you come all the way back up, meet your palms above head. Inhale, push your fingertips up. Exhale, bring your palms down to your chest. Good. Okay, so now I'm going to give you a choice of how we're going to use our belt for a shoulder opener. If you don't have a belt, you can do this without one. It just helps a little bit to have one. So I'm going to give you a choice. You can stay cross-legged, or if you would like to try Vajrasana pose, which is pretty much just sitting on your heels. If you've got good knees, it's good to do this all the time to keep your knees good. So if this does not hurt your knees, this is something that you want to keep doing for the rest of your life. If it hurts your knees, obviously don't do it. Another option would be to put a bolster between your calves and your thighs, and you can sit like this. If your ankles are sore, you could roll up your blanket and put the ankles on top of the blanket. And then the final option is just to come up onto your knees all the way. So either cross-legged or any of those positions in between that suits you. I like the Vajrasana kneeling pose. So take your strap in front of you, unlooped, and then hold the center of the strap about shoulder width apart. And if you don't have a strap, just pretend there's one there, so you're going to engage the muscles in your arms. And then as you move up with your arms, gradually separate your hands on the strap and go back as far as you can. Now, maybe you can't come all the way down, but if you can come all the way down behind your back without crunching your neck, come all the way down. And then slowly keep the strap taut as you come back up and then come over back into the front. And we'll repeat one more time. Shoulder width apart. Keep the strap taut as you come on up. And then separate your hands so that you can open your shoulders and then go all the way behind you. And then come all the way back up and come forward. Okay, we'll put the belt aside for the moment. And I want to do some, you can either stay where you are seated or move your position to any way that you like. We're going to do some wrist exercises here because we're going to be on our wrists a little bit to come. So let's start with our left hand forward, palm facing down. You take your right hand and gently push on the top of your left hand and push your fingers toward your body. So you should feel a stretch on the top part of your wrist and the top part of your hand. And then let go, flip the hand palm up, and then now you're going to do the opposite. You're going to bring the fingers toward your body with the palm facing outward. And release, circle the wrist around both directions. And then we'll do the right hand. Start with the palm down and gently coax with your left hand the fingers toward the ground and toward you. And then release, flip the palm up, and we'll do the other side. And then release, circle that wrist around. Okay, two more things. Lace your fingers together like so, and then come so that your hands are vertical right in front of your chest. And then we're just going to do waves. So we're going to go from here, and then we're going to switch so the other hand's on top and the other hand's on bottom, and then switch again. And then switch again, and again, and again. And again. Okay. All right. Now bring your fists together, lace your hands, but your palms are now touching. And we're going to make a figure 8 in front of our body. So start with whatever hand you want on top. And then you're going to make a figure 8, and then you're going to switch to the other hand on top. And then another figure 8. So you're just switching the top hand and the bottom hand, making a big loop, figure 8 in front of your body. Okay, good. And then shake both wrists out. And then we'll come to our hands and knees, please, in table position. Pad your knees here as you like to make your knees happy. With a flat back, take a deep breath. Exhale. Sit back toward your heels with your bottom, and then slowly inhale, come back up to table. This is greasing our joints. We'll do this a couple more times. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, sit back towards your heels. You don't have to touch down. And then push back up to table. Inhale. Exhale all the way back down, greasing your hinges. This is lubricating your wrists, your hips, your knees. Okay, so now we're at a flat back table. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, push into your cat back. So you're curling your spine up toward the ceiling, tucking your tailbone, tucking your chin, pushing the mat away so you can feel your vertebra open and your shoulders separate on your back. And then we'll go into our cow pose by allowing our belly to drop down towards the mat. So you're now having a banana back, crown of your head forward, tailbone back. And then as you exhale, you're going to sit all the way back towards your heels. And then inhale back up to table. Push into your hands, come up all the way up onto your knees. Urdhva Hastasana, palms facing each other. And then turn your body to the left. Take a deep breath and then exhale. Bring your hands down. And then from here, bring your bottom down toward your heels as much as you can. It doesn't have to touch. So this is sort of like a sideways child's pose. Walk your hands back to center. So now you're back in the center child pose. Come back up to table. Push into your hands, come all the way back up, or Hastasana, upward salute with your arms. Turn your body to the right, take a deep breath. Exhale, bring your hands down, and then bring your bottom down towards your heels in this laterally bending child pose. Walk your hands back to center and walk your hands forward into puppy pose, which is where your hips are going to be in the air now. So in child's pose, your hips are going toward your heels. Now you want your hips way up into the air. Your hands are way in front of you. You might have to move around on your sticky mat to get a grip with your hands. And your chest is melting down toward the mat. Your head is melting between your arms. This is the upward half of a downward facing dog. Squeeze your forearms toward each other. Bend your knuckles so you have grip on the mat. And then walk your hands back to the table. Inhale with a flat back. Exhale, bring your right knee up towards your nose, tuck your chin, see if you're gonna try to touch your nose to your knee, and then exhale, kick your right leg way back behind you. And then lift your left arm into the balancing table. So right leg, left arm, engage your core muscles here, look at a spot in front of you for balance. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Bring the hand down, bring your toes down, but keep your leg extended behind you. Walk your foot to the left and then look over your left shoulder, see if you can see your foot. This is a cat looking at its tail. Now pick up the toes, swing your leg all the way around back to the right side of the body so that it lands perpendicular to you. And then put weight into your left hand. Open twist to the right. And then the hand comes back down. So if you have your blocks handy here, this is some place where you might want to use them. I'll show you where we're going. You're going to walk your foot. Keep on walking your foot upward towards your head so that it comes forward of your head. And we're going to sink into our lizard pose. So you're going to either stay here if this is enough stretch for you, or you can come down. Bring your forearms onto a block, or if you need more stretch than that, you can bring your forearms down to your mat. So when you're down here in lizard pose, you want a wide angle to the leg, a very wide angle. And you want your foot to be forward of your head, and you want your knee to be somewhere near your shoulder. And then relax in this big hip opener. Okay, please, if you're on your forearms, push back to your hands and then walk your foot back and come back to table. Start with a flat back, take a deep breath in. Exhale, bring your left knee up toward your head, tuck your chin, nose to knee. Inhale, kick the left leg back behind you. Level your hips and lift your right arm into our balancing table. Take a deep breath. Exhale, hand comes down, leg comes down, but keep your leg extended behind you. Now walk your foot to the right and look over your right shoulder. See if you can see your tail. Inhale, pick up the foot. Exhale, swing it all the way around. Plant it perpendicular to your body on the left. Put weight into your right hand and then let your left arm open, twist to the left. Take a deep breath. Hand comes down. Now walk your foot up toward the front of your mat, above your head. And here's again, you can either come down on your, you can stay here, come down onto your forearms on the block, or come on down to the mat. And I'll just remind you that you want a wide angle in your leg, very wide angle. And your foot is forward of the head and the knee is somewhere in the vicinity of the shoulder. In our lizard pose, take several deep breaths here. Kristasana is how you say it in Sanskrit. And slowly come back up. Bring your foot back to table. And then come all the way down onto your bellies. And place your hands wide on your mat. At the edges of your mat or even outside of your mat, as long as you have grip. You want grip in the hands. So you want something sticky and firm to put your hands on. And they're going to be right in line with your shoulders. Push your pelvis into the mat. Push your thighs into the mat. Spread your legs a little bit so that they're in a V. And then think about squeezing an imaginary ball between your legs so that your thighs are rolling inward and you're loosening up your lower back. Keep pushing the thighs into the mat and then push into your hands and slowly come up into this wide cobra. You don't have to come up very high, but when you come up, make sure your shoulders get down from your ears and you're not doing this, but you want to do this. And then breathe. And then come slowly all the way down. Okay, so one other big shoulder stretch here. Bring your arms to your sides and a T. Now, depending on your shoulder, if your shoulder's bothering you when we do this, you want your arm to come closer to your body, okay? So but start with a T and see how that works for you. What we're gonna do is roll onto our right shoulder. So we're just rolling onto our right hip, lifting our left hip and coming onto our right shoulder and the right side of our body. So you can use your left hand here just to prop you up. Bend your knees so you can have balance. And if this is too much for your shoulder, this is where you would bring it closer to your body. And if you're okay here, you can rest your head on something if you like. You can keep your hand in front of you, or you can bring your left arm behind you to open up the other shoulder. And the third option is to bend the top leg, grab the top ankle with your left hand for a quad stretch. So you get a shoulder stretch and a quad stretch. Feel free to get off the bus anywhere along the way here. I'll give you lots of options. Okay, release the ankle and then slowly roll back to your belly. And then we'll do the other side, rolling onto our left shoulder, bending your knees so you have balance. You can rest your head on the mat if you like. And either stay right here with your right hand in front of you, or take your right hand and wrap it around your back so that you're opening up your right shoulder, or grab your ankle for the quad stretch, bringing the foot into the bottom. And release. Roll back on your belly. Push back to table. Okay, and then from table, we're going to come to a kneeling upward facing dog. So we're going to keep our knees hip width apart, shift our chest forward so that it comes between our upper arms. And then when you get there, you want to bring your shoulders down from your ears and pretend your neck is stretching out of a turtle shell. Open your chest forward, shoulders down, neck nice and long, and then push back to table. And then we'll do that one more time. Shift your weight forward. Chest is in between your arms, opening your chest, opening your shoulders. Good, 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 good. Okay, and then back to table. And we're gonna now stand up. So if you wanna stand up unassisted, just do that, or go through downward facing dog. So you push up through dog here. And from downward facing dog, we'll just bend our knees and walk up to our hands. And then very, very slowly rise up. And then inhale, exhale. And then bring your hands to heart center in Anjali Mudra. And then come into Tadasana and pause for a couple of breaths. So Tadasana, think about the alignment of your spine, shoulders down from the ears, feet underneath the hips, tuck your belly in, chest forward, head directly on top of the shoulders, and breathe. Okay, so if you have blocks, you're probably going to want to use them now and bring them in front of you, one or both. So take this is a cross leg over thing. So we're gonna take our right leg and cross it over our left and bring the pinky sides of our feet together. That's step number one. And this in itself is not that easy. So you want your knees slightly bent. Come from your hip crease, bring your chest forward with a flat back. And either stay here, or if you have blocks, bring your hands down to the blocks, or if you can touch the mat, whatever suits you. This is a big hamstring stretch. It's a little bit of a different kind of a stretch with our legs crossed. And then hang here for a couple of breaths. And then push up, and very, very slowly. It's more challenging than you would think. Come up. Inhale, bring your arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T. Come to Anjali Mudra. And then return to Tadasana, uncross the legs. And then we will try the other side. Left leg over right, pinky toe to pinky toe. Try to nestle your knees together here, slight bend in the knees, and then coming from your hip crease with a flat back down, and either stay right here with your hands on your hips or come on down to your blocks or the mat. Your knees are going to have a slight bend in them. This gets to some muscles that we don't use very much in our forward folds. And then slowly come back up, very slowly. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, arms in a T, Anjali Mudra. and then uncross back to Tadasana. All right. We're going to do a warrior 3 in stages with blocks or a chair, or if you have nothing, you can do warrior 3 with nothing. But bring your blocks in front of you at maximum height. We'll do this in stages. And then bend your knees slightly, come from your hip crease and place your hands on the blocks. So if you had a chair here, you could do this on a chair or a railing or anything here just to keep your balance. And then shift your weight onto your left foot and kick your right foot back behind you. Now, level your hips, shift your hip. The tendency when you lift your right leg is to open your right hip. Close that right hip back down, shift it back down so that both hips are level and your sacrum is even to the floor. So this is part number 1. And then the second part to this is to raise your left arm in front of you. So this is just like the balancing table we did earlier on our knees, but this is now standing. And then the hand comes back down, the foot comes back down, and then bend your knees, slowly come up. Okay. And then we're going to go back down, all the way back down, hands on blocks, flat back, nice long spine. This time we're going to shift the weight to the right leg, kick the left leg back, level the hip, don't allow the hip to cock open. So your left toes are pointed directly down, and then your right arm comes up into the balancing table here. And then the hand comes down and the foot comes down, slowly come back up. All right, so we're going to do this again, and this is the challenging part. You don't have to just go as far as you want to. We're going to try to let go of both blocks. So come from your hip crease, lean forward, put both hands on the blocks. And this may or may not work for you, that's okay. We're going to start with shifting the weight to the left foot, kicking the right foot back behind you. And you can move the blocks around so you have balance here, okay? They don't have to be directly in front of your face. They can be over to the left a little bit if that makes you happier, and then lift your left arm. And here, only here, if you feel like you have balance and you don't even have to take your hand far off the block, you can bring your both hands forward, or just take your right hand off the block just little by little, just so that you can figure out your balance. Your knee is bent. The more you bend your left knee, I find it's easier to balance on that leg. So this is the full expression of warrior 3. And then bring your hands down, bring your foot down, slowly rise up. So we take a little bit of a break, back to Tadasana. And now you know where we're headed. And come back down, bend your knees, hands on the blocks, or whatever you're using. Kick the left leg back as you balance on your right. Bend the right knee so that you can balance a little easier. Move the blocks around however you like so that you feel comfortable lifting your right arm. And then only if you feel good about it, just pick up your left hand and either just play with picking it up off the block or bring it out in front of you into the full warrior 3. You really have to concentrate your focus on this. And then hands down, leg down. And from here, we're going to come all the way down to our knees and sit back toward our heels. And then come into child pose for a couple of breaths. Okay, please push back to table. Come up onto your knees. And then we're just going to put one foot forward, and then we're going to step up with the other. practice getting up off the ground unassisted. And then please take a moment. I think you'll be able to see me better if you change your mat so that the long edge is facing your computer. And then have your blocks handy. I'll give you a moment here. So when you're situated, step your feet apart. And don't come as wide as a 5-pointed star. Come a little closer than you would normally when we go into a 5-pointed star. We're not going to go there just yet. So you want to have your legs a little bit closer together, but your toes are pointed forward. This is another chest opener. You want to take your hands behind you and lace your fingers, clasp your hands behind your back, and then pull your chest open and shoulders down from your ears. Engage your abdominal muscles. Come from your hip crease with a nice flat back and lean your body forward as much as you can. And then your hands are going to be pointing up toward the ceiling. This is a Dvipada fold. Dvipada means legged. And then slowly come up. Okay, keep your hands clasped. Turn your body to the left. Keep your feet pointing forward. And then come fold over your left leg as much as you can. Bringing your hands up to the ceiling behind you. You can have micro bends in your knees here so that you don't lock them out. And then very slowly back up to center and turn to the right. And now we'll fold down toward the right leg. And very slowly back to center. Release your clasp and shake out your arms and your wrists. So now we'll step to the 5-pointed star. So now your feet will be as wide as you feel stable. And then the arms are going to come up to our star position. Your head is right above the shoulders. Push your fingertips away from each other and push your feet away from each other on the sticky mat so that you can feel muscles engage in both your arms and legs. Okay, take your right toes, pivot them 90 degrees so that they're facing the short edge of your mat. Bend the front knee, and then pick up your left heel and scoot it back about an inch or two. So you're coming into warrior two legs, okay? Warrior two legs, and your arms are still parallel to the ground. Think about rotating your right thigh outward to stabilize that knee. Make sure that knee doesn't sway in as we do this. So now to bring your hands down in front of you, cross your hands and pretend you're going to grab the edges of your t-shirt. And then you're going to bring your t-shirt up over your head. And then open your arms, palms facing up into warrior two. And now with your palms facing up, slowly turn your head to look over the middle finger of your right hand. Take a deep breath. Exhale, slowly bring your head back forward. And then very slowly continue turning your head to look at your left hand. This is a two-legged balance challenge here. And then slowly bring your head back to center. Bring your hands down to your hips. Pivot your feet back forward. Walk your heels in so that your toes are pointed at a diagonal. Place your hands on your thighs and bring your chest forward as if you're in a football huddle, which you may or may not see for real this year. Shift your weight to the left, straighten your right leg, bring your right shoulder down toward your left leg. Shift your weight back to center, and then all the way back over to the right, straightening your left leg, and the left shoulder comes down. Shift back to center, slowly rise up. Back to your 5-pointed star, pivot your toes forward. And now pivot your left toes 90 degrees. Pick up your right heel, scooch it back about an inch, come into your warrior two legs here. So think about rotating thigh outward so that your knee stays stable, and don't allow this knee to fall in. Okay, this is going to be really a good leg strengthener if you keep this position here. All right, so from here, we're going to cross our hands in front of us like we did. Now, if you remember which hand was on top last time, which is probably the same hand that you have on top now because this is your intuitive way of doing it, try the other way. And then now grab the imaginary ends of a t-shirt, bring it up over your head, and then open your arms, palms facing up. Now turn and look over the middle finger of your left hand. Inhale, exhale slowly, slowly, slowly. Bring your head back to center and keep on turning it to look over your back hand. Good. Slowly, slowly, slowly back to center. Bring your hands down to your hips and then walk your feet together. Shake everything out. Good. Okay, now please come on back down to your mats. And grab your belt, if you have one. So this is, I get good feedback from you. I want good feedback from you. And this is one of the things that I had feedback on. We're gonna do a reclined pigeon pose. So we're gonna come onto our backs with our knees bent, our hips, our feet hip width distance apart, and your belt is handy here. All right. Also, if you have your bolster or blanket even, maybe have that handy as well. And I'll show you why. So from here, you're going to take your right ankle, put it on your left thigh. Flex the foot. And to start with, just take your right hand on the right thigh and push that thigh away to open the hip. So you can feel your hip opening. Okay, so now here's where the belt comes in handy. I'm going to show you where we're going and I'll show you how to use the belt. We've done this before. We're going to thread our hands through and grab our thigh and bring it up toward our chest and relax our head. But if that doesn't work for you, you use your belt and you bring the belt around your left thigh and use that to pull. It's an arm extension is all it is an extension of your arm. So putting your leg up to your chest. And then maybe now you can rest your head and chest down. And if you still have problem relaxing your neck here, you can place your head on the blanket, but you don't want to place it too high up. You don't want to crunch your throat together. So if you can, just open your throat and put your head on the mat using the belts. And then just relax here. So you either got the belts in your hands or you got your hands around your thigh. And then you're pushing your right thigh away as you bring your left thigh towards you. Okay, slowly release your thigh, bring your foot down to the mat. Take your right hand onto your right knee and scooch it like a typewriter over to the left so that your knee is now on top of another. You're sitting in a chair upside down. And then bring your arms to a T, palms facing up, and just allow your knees to fall to the left. Turn your head to look over your right arm. And then bring your head to center, bring your knees back to center, uncross. And reestablish your feet flat on the mat, hip width distance apart. This time we'll take our left ankle, place the ankle on the right thigh. Just take your left hand first and just push the thigh away to feel an opening of your hip. And now we're going to thread our hands through using the belt or not. With your left hand going to go between your legs. You're going to pick up your right foot so that you can thread between and get the strap around the thigh to use that as an extension of your arms. And then see if you can relax your head back down and your shoulders back down. And release that thigh. Then take the typewriter, return and scoot your knee over on top of the other knee. Bring your feet back down to the mat. And allow now your knees to fall to the right. And look to the left with your head. So anybody younger than us have never even seen a typewriter, so they wouldn't know what I'm talking about. But it's a good analogy to use with this class. I don't know, Steve-O probably has never seen a typewriter before, but he's the only one here. And slowly bring your head back to center, bring your knees back up and cross the legs. Bring both knees into your chest, hug your knees, roll around on your spine. Bring your feet back down to the mat and please extend your legs long. And we're going to come into Shavasana, our relaxation pose. I'm going to sit up, but you stay lying and rest your body and mind. Get comfortable. Please focus on your breath. Focus on slowing down your breathing. Take a mental body scan, find any areas of tension, and release. As we're relaxing, I'm going to read you a poem by Mary Oliver. She is an American poet, has written many, many books. She died last year, but she is known for her nature imagery in her poems. So this poem is called At Great Pond. At Great Pond, the sun, rising, scrapes his orange breasts on the thick pines and tumble down a few orange feathers into the dark water. On the far shore, a white bird is standing like a white candle, or a man in the distance in the clasp of some meditation. While all around me, the lilies are breaking open again from the black cave of the night. Later, I will consider what I have seen, what it could signify, what words of adoration I might make of it. And to do this, I will go indoors to my desk. I will sit in my chair. I will look back into the lost morning in which I am now moving Now, like a swimmer, so smoothly, so peacefully, I am almost the lily, almost the bird vanishing over the water on its sleeves of night. Please bring your awareness back to your breath and slowly deepen your breathing as you gently wake up your body, making small movements with hands and feet. And then please very slowly bend your knees and roll onto your right side in a fetal position to seal the practice. And please very slowly, keeping a quiet mind, push to seated. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May the entire universe be filled with peace and joy, love and light. Namaste. And Jai Yogis, thank you for being here. And please give me any kind of feedback. Since I can't see you, I can see you a little bit, but I can't see a lot.